Hi, this is Lady Lex UK and here is another tutorial for Project Spark, and today I'm going to be looking at a stealth mechanic. So here is my player and we want to get through that door, but there's a guard in the way, so we'll just burn up. Hang on a minute, he appears to be asleep. Let's get a bit closer. Yeah, his eyeballs are shut and there's some Z's floating off him, so he's clearly fallen asleep on the job. So maybe I can get through the door. Oh no, he's woke. He's woken up. I've now got to attack him. And he's a bit tough, this guy. Got to be careful. Oh, he's hitting me, and occasionally he's jumping out of the way. Oh dear. Oh, I might die. Oh, yeah, he's killed me. He's a very tough guard. Okay, so let's try that again. This time we'll try to be a bit more stealthy, so we'll come up to him, but we've got careful. Let's walk slowly. Maybe we walk slowly enough. Okay, I'm now in his detection zone. It's highlighted me to give me warning that I'm in the detection zone. I've got to walk slowly and keep highlighted. If I move a bit too fast, she's no longer highlighted. Can I get open the door? I can get open the door. I can get through. I'm through. Oh no! I was too fast through the door and now he's attacking me. But there you go. There's the mechanic. So, most of the code is in the goblin. There is a little bit code in this door. Now, what I wanted for this door mechanism is that if the goblin is attacking you, the doors are locked and will not open unless he is dead. But if you manage to sneak past him, the doors will open as you approach. So that's the mechanism I've got. So let's have a look at that brain. Now the goblin scavenger is awake. He is powered on. So when the goblin scavenger is not powered on, so when he's asleep and you detect the player, open the doors. And when you don't detect the player, close the doors. If the goblin scavenger is dead, then just open the doors. So if the goblin scavenger's power is on, this will not work, this bit of code, so the doors will just remain shut and will not open. And that's a nice simple little code for the doors. You can use that for arenas and all sorts of things. Right, so our goblin. Well, first of all, I beefed him up a bit in the combat department. Got 10 damage and 15 damage for his attacks. And health and defenses, I've given him 100 health. I've given him a 30 dodge speed and a 5 dodge distance. And I've removed all his hit reactions so that he won't react when you hit him, so that it will immediately attack you, because the hit animations are quite slow. It means you can get lots of hits in. This will turn them off so that he's a bit more dangerous. Okay, so there's the goblin that I've changed. Now you'll see there is some attachments of some eyeballs. Now you can leave these so he actually has eyeballs if you want. I haven't. I've got them with the visibility turned off once he's awake. But otherwise, if you power off, there's a googly eye. So if I go into it, it's when the power is on an eyeball, it is open. When the power is off on an eyeball, it is shut. So when the owner is powered on, we'll make the eyeball invisible. We'll also power on the eyeball. So if you take this code out, you'll still see the eyes. So the visibility, the 2 visibility lines you can take out if you just want to have the eyes open or shut. But because I only want them use them as shut eyeballs and just have his normal eyeballs, I put the visibility in. So we'll make it false when he's awake and true when he's asleep. That's as simple as that. Okay, and we've attached them to his head. Okay, you can see the detect sensor here. I've turned it on so it's visible so I can see. and I've got it in a nice area around the door, so you can't actually get to the door without getting into his detection zone. And I made it a decent size. It's a little bit bigger than the default. Okay, let's look into his brain then. So this is a normal goblin scavenger brain, and I've just added some extra code. So we have a number variable called speed. Now this is going to be the speed of our player when he's in the detection zone. And we'll clamp that so it's got a minimum of 0, so it will not go into a minus number. When we detect our player, and he's in the detection zone, we'll say when else, so when he's not in detection zone, we'll set the awaken number variable back to 0. So if you move out of the detection zone, he'll go back to sleep. Now, when you do detect the player, we'll say the speed equals the absolute value of our player's velocity in X and velocity in Z. So that's how fast they're moving in the left and right, or forward and back. And we'll add those two together, and that will give us a number. And we'll make sure it's an absolute value, so that'll ignore whether it's a negative or a positive. It'll just return the number. So it doesn't matter if he's moving backwards or forwards. So it's whether it's a negative number or a positive number, it'll just return a number. And if that number is greater than 2, then he's moving too fast. And that awaken number variable will be incremented by that speed. So the faster he's going, the faster he'll wake up. If he's not moving faster, and the goblin hasn't woken up, then we'll highlight that player white, so they'll know they're in the detection zone and they are moving slowly enough. If the speed turns to 0, we'll send the awaken back to 0. So if you stop moving, his awakenness will go back to 0, and you can start again. When he doesn't have power, we'll display his awaken meter, and that has a maximum of 50, and we'll put that above his head in a little blue meter. When that awaken number variable is greater than 50, so we're saying, you've moved too fast and it's hit the 50, then we'll power on our goblin. While he's still asleep, when he doesn't have power, we'll play the sleep aura on him. And this is the default part of the brain, makes him team 2, which makes him an enemy. Then we say when he has power, we'll display the health meter above his head in a small red meter. And this is the rest of his melee brain, which we've put as childline under the has power. And the only thing I've changed in this is I've removed the wind up, and I've put in a combo of medium and light attack. And I've added this line: when hit by attack, there's a random chance that he'll dodge out the way. So we'll dodge randomly between 1 to 2 as an integer, and then if that dodge equals 1, then we'll dodge backwards out of the way of the attack. That will stop us from being able to just hit and hit and hit and hit while he stands there. So he won't. He'll move out of the way 50% of the time. And that's it. That's the code that you need for the stealth mechanic for this goblin. I'll show you one more time. Let's see if we can get through the door without being attacked this time. Okay, so very careful. Let's move up close. Okay, are we in the detection zone yet? Not yet. Yes, now we're in the detection zone, but we're moving nice and slowly. Let's not wake him up. The door's open, and he's through. Obviously you can do combinations of this. You could have it so that the actual sound of the door opening will wake up your goblin. That's quite easy to do. You just, in the door, you just put when has power. Goblin Scavenger has power. Goblin Scavenger power on. Like that. There we go. So that means when the door creaks open, the goblin scavenger's power will be on. And he'll wake up. Let's see that in action. So we'll slow down. Let's sneak past him. It's all good. Well, right, I think we need to put a little delay in there so that you get, because it's a bit quick between the sound of the door. So when has power? Countdown timer. Power on. We don't want it too slow. Let's try 0.5. Half a second. So that makes a bit of a difference. Oh no! I moved too fast. Okay. To move slowly, right? Okay. We'll just shuffle over. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Ah, and there's the door. He's alerted. He's awake. There we go. Okay, hope that's been useful to you. So that was a stealth mechanic for Project Spark. Thanks for watching and keep sparking.